What's up? What's up? What's up? Pressure 23 Radio. We got Piseano in the
How
building.
you doing? How you doing?
What it do? This that y'all been waiting on this all day. Y'all been waiting on this for 2 weeks. What it do, my guy?
Not much, man. Just cool and just living, looking, and learning and listening.
That's what's up. Welcome to Vocal Point, the show where music meets conversation. Thank you for joining us as we dive into the stories behind the songs and the artists who create those songs.
Thank you for having me.
What it do?
You, what did you say?
I said, what it do today?
I mean, not much, man. We just down here to just handle business and get in and learn something from you guys, and you get a chance to learn something from us.
Okay. Yeah, I was waiting on some. It's on now. It's
Okay.
on. Yeah, it's on. So, like I said, thank you for coming in and kicking with us today. We appreciate you showing up. How was your drive?
It was fast.
It was fast.
It was efficient.
It was efficient.
Yeah.
So you was who you had in there with you, Danica Patrick, or I mean, how fast was you?
I was actually in the back seat.
You was in the back seat?
Yeah.
Danica Patrick was in the front?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh man, Danica. Shout out to your people you got in the studio with us today. Y'all know we're on the radio and we're streaming live, and a lot of people's like, oh man, who they talking to? Yeah, we got people in the studio that's sitting here with you. Again, thank you for coming in, kicking with us. I mean, you are one of the artists from the beginning for me. So, the relationship the connection between me and you are different. You
Right.
are actually one of the people, the artists that started the platform. So it's kind of like, yes. Yes. So, like when I first heard your music, we were in the process of actually, the station was already up and it was running, and we were in the process of building the platform. So you are an original
That makes me feel
P23
special.
artist.
It makes me feel really special.
You are very special.
I appreciate
You are actually one of the artists that was actually featured in the first issue of Pressure 23 magazine.
that. Wow.
Yeah,
I
so
don't think I've ever been that important.
yeah, so you are actually one of the first artists that the group that in the first catalog that we uploaded to the radio station. You were one of the first artists to be published on pressure23.com, and you were among the first artists that was in the first issue of Pressure 23 magazine. So this is a actual and then this is anniversary month. So it's
So it's almost like God designed it that way.
exactly. We sit up here and play, and so that's why I said this is kind of like the one that we've been waiting for all day.
Right.
It's like history. There's some historical shit. You started when we first started, and now we a global platform. To be honest, I didn't expect us to be this big, this fast. And you were actually one of the artists that, you know, when we put it on the glass, you was on the glass with us.
So I wasn't late. I was right on time.
You was right on time. You started from the bottom. Now we here. So tell us a little bit about Piseano. Where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. I was born in Atlanta, but I can't claim it because I left early. And,
Okay. So how long have you been making music professionally?
That's a hard question to answer. I don't think I had been professional yet.
I think you had when you started on the platform. You were
Okay, so then I say a year. About a year professionally.
No, that would be
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah, 23. Yeah,
I think it's 2 years. Yes, ma'am.
2 years professionally. Okay, skip the professional. How long you been creating music?
I've been creating music since I was about 5. So my cousin, he was into music real good. Man, he runs a radio station right now in Huntsville.
Okay.
But
shout out to cousin.
Yeah, I don't want to say his name, but he I've been making music for a pretty long time.
Okay. So Describe your artistic style. What type of music you normally create?
Well, I was raised in the church, so I have a little melodic side to me.
Mhm.
But I fell in love with a dude named Tech Nine, and it kind of made my music a little aggressive.
Yes.
And I don't know, I can really make any type of music, but
Oh, I know. We have some music here today, and when I heard it, I was like, hey, it's different.
right,
And I liked your music then, but I think I definitely like the persona that's here today. I definitely like that. I'm not gonna say it's a dramatic change or a drastic change. Um, what I would say is there's a difference in the quality.
a necessary change, one
Yes,
might say.
right. So I think it's a difference in the quality. It's like that. You can tell that there was some form of a personal change because you went from an aggressive tension sound
Mm-hmm.
to a more um I don't want to say aggressive because I don't think that that's aggressive. I think it's a more of like a power, like a
Mm-hmm.
strong voice with a nice sound to it where you could put like the bop to it or
Right,
whatever.
right,
Yeah.
right, right, right.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that. So describe your artistic style, like the type music that you prefer to create, not the old persona. We gonna leave him over there. I like
Right,
this new one.
right.
Let's talk about the new persona.
It I guess how I do it is it draws from like my overall what I'm doing in my life. Like if I'm sad, I pull from my emotions to make my music, and sometimes I can pull from somebody else's emotions. Like if a person is being bullied, or I can feel their I can empathize with people to feel
Okay.
how they feel, and use my emotions to pull the music out.
Oh, okay. So the music you typically create is emotional driven, is emotionally
Hmm.
driven. Okay, that could be a great thing.
Yeah.
Because that with you being an artist that creating off of emotion. And sometimes the music can be exciting. It can be pain music. It can be motivational music. It can be spiritual music. I like that. I like that emotion driven music. I try not to act off emotions myself quite often, but I would really like to. I love to be able to put on a song and it turned me up
Yeah.
to where I don't got to turn up in real life.
Right.
I like that. Okay. What are the primary things and concepts that you explore when creating music?
Um, I try to speak to those people out there that feel like, somebody that probably feel like they were weird or they were misunderstood. I try to speak to them and be like, you know, that's something that you should embrace.
Right.
In the world, you got a lot of carbon copy people, and they line up one by one, and you can just look at them and see that's the same, the same, the same.
Right.
And I would like to, reach out to the people that feel weird or feel like it's a problem to be that way, and tell them it's not.
That dare to be different.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay. All right then. Oh, okay. So we got a song here
All right.
today. It's called Argue. We're gonna tap into that. Before I get into my next question, because we need
All
to
right.
tap into that.
In the heart with you. It's 24 hours in a day. You gon' really feel it. It's out of box 23. So I won't argue with you. If it's my freedom, not today. Cause if you back me against the wall, you never argue in the game. In the argue with you. It's 24 hours in the day. And you gon' really feel it. It's out of box 23. So I won't argue with you. If it's my freedom, not today. Cause if you back me against the wall, you never argue in the game. Cause if you back me against the wall, you never argue in the game. Cause if you back me against the wall, you never argue in the game. Tick, 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 tick. That's how I stay. Lose and I lose, but I choose to continue chilling. Please see me the hell alone. No small talk in my soul, dog. I'm losing patience. Now that's the third nerve you done burned off. To a distance that's probably safer. I'm holding all of my anger inside of my body. Nine of my four, give me go ahead to the tape. For the keep composed, and the front rows, and them fake holes in my way. Argue with you. It's 24 hours in a day. You gon' really feel me. It's inside a box 23. So I won't argue with you and risk my freedom not today. Cause if you back me against the wall, you never argue in the game. Finna argue with you. It's 24 hours in a day. You gon' really feel me. It's inside a box 23. So I won't argue with you and risk my freedom not today. Cause if you back me against the wall, you never argue in the game. Cause if you back me against the wall, you never argue in the game. Cause if you back me against the wall, you never argue in the game.
Man, the transition from the Piseano from 2023 to the Piseano today. That song awesome. It's a big difference. Tell us about the transition from the artist that you were in 2023 to the artist you are that created that song right there, because there was something that took place in between that time that basically catapulted your rap style.
I would say metamorphosis, changing from a person that doesn't even understand the concept of self-love in no fashion to a person that understands that it's important to take care of yourself, to love yourself, to, you know, be true to oneself, to be patient about, you know what I'm saying, understanding yourself, learning yourself, and ultimately knowing that it's okay to be you. That's what it was.
Okay. That change. Are there any people in particular that helped aided you in a positive way to get you to that person you are today?
Yeah, you had him on the show earlier. My sister niece 720 and her family. My brother Chef, Big Chef and his family. Those were the people that kind of like catapulted me from the broken like area I was in at that moment.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I can, and with talking to both of those individuals today, I could see the influence that both of them have had on the artist you were then versus the artist you are now. You were an angry artist then. You're not angry anymore.
Nope. Nope.
Well, you know what? Congratulations to you. Because I am looking forward to hearing some more music from the Piseano that I have here today.
Right.
So I talked to you earlier this month, and we talked about your name, and you were kind of thinking like at some point you should change your name. I don't know, but I want to know, Piseano, what's the origin in your name? Where did it come from?
Like I was telling you about my cousin earlier. He liked to watch a lot of mafia movies.
Mhm.
And, the word Piseano is like an Italian slang for like my homeboy, my guy. Like that's my nigga, like my Piseano. But I wanted to spell it different because for registration purposes. It's not spelled properly for the slang that they use in Italian, but
Right.
it means like my friend, my guy.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. It's very clever. I like that. Okay. So can you walk us through your creative process on creating the song Argue? What was on your mind during the time you were creating that song? And, how did you go in? Who did you have someone that produced that song with you and things like that? Walk us through that process, like from beginning of creation until the finished product.
I called my sister on the phone, niece, and I was distraught about a certain individual, and I was building it up too much. I was creating an entity out of a person that was a human being,
Mhm.
and she just constantly just like reassuring me, like, man, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be good, and that's my alarm. I turned it off, but I thought it was gonna be okay, and so she come to me and she said, just you are a strong individual yourself. Like you're not a weak individual, you know. And so I went to the studio and I actually used my nephew's studio. He had a makeshift studio using Mixcraft. His name's Quay D. He makes music. I used a makeshift studio. I found a beat online. I don't even think I was worried too much about the all the other stuff. And I loaded it up on Mixcraft and I started writing it, and it came out like that.
I love it. I like it. So I ain't go. So can you go over that chorus with us if you can? I know that your voice is a little, but I just want you to talk it out. Just talk it out. The chorus.
I ain't gonna argue with you. It's 24 hours in a day, but you gonna really feel them sitting inside a box for 23. I ain't gonna argue with you. Risk my freedom, not today, because if you back me against the wall, you'll never argue again. So you got it, no problem. I'm just being honest. Please leave me an option. If not, I'm gonna drop him. You got it, no problem. I'm just being honest. Because if you back me against the wall, you're never arguing again.
It's deep. It's deep. And then to be able to you actually took a situation that could have went somewhere else and created something positive out of it. You just said, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with you about this because the consequences that's gonna come behind this argument, they're gonna cost too much.
Right.
So it's a lot. That's what I take from the song.
Yeah.
I mean, it make me think about it too. But people got 401ks.
Like, am I willing to lose what
Exactly.
I
Your
have
freedom.
in
Your
order?
freedom.
Yeah.
It costs too much. It costs too much arguing with somebody.
Yeah.
Especially, you got to go do them 23 hours, 23 and 1. Yeah. So it costs too much.
Yeah.
Get that. So, what are some of your biggest artistic influences, and how do you use those to manifest into your work? We're not going outside of clowns. I mean, outside of things that may set you off. What are other artistic influences? Because based
One-
on that song, it's kind of like a direct impact. But outside of that,
One of them is the killer clown himself, Tech Nine. That's where the speed comes from,
right?
the technical side of it. But there are other influences that I won't name specifically, but I like to give credit where it's due. And there are other influences, but we want to keep the interview positive and
Right.
you know.
So we definitely gonna give it influence to God, because I noticed when we first when we talked, that was one of the things that we talked about.
That was the biggest one.
And we talked about God, and we talked about self-love, and I'm glad to know that you have people in your life that stop you from ruining your life, spending them 23 and 1s, because you appear to be definitely headed there. And I understand it. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced as an emerging artist?
The rigmarole activity.
Elaborate on that a little bit.
It's like an old school term, rigmarole.
Uh-huh.
Basically, just saying it's left when it's supposed to be right, saying it's down when it's supposed to be up, saying it's black when it's supposed to be white. Just for whatever reason, it's like people can see the purity in your eyes, like that guy's really interested. Let me handle him the worst way possible.
Okay. So, what motivates you to continue creating despite the challenges of rigmarole and negative people?
The same type of people showing me how to push through anything, through hurt, pain, doesn't matter, emotional, doesn't, to just stick your head down and go forward. And I kind of took that narrative and applied it to myself while leaving the rest of it.
Okay. So how do you handle criticism when it pertains to your work?
Now, a lot better. At first, I didn't really care what nobody had to say about nothing. I cared about what one person had to say. And that was it.
Elaborate on that for me. Just elaborate on it.
I had somebody in my life that was paramount over God, my child, my friends, my family, even myself. And if he said the song was good, then it was good. If he said the song was bad, then I would throw it away.
Okay. With that question right there. There's a song that we have in this building right now. And that song, I'm not gonna play it. But that song, play us a snippet from that song. Play us that first verse from that song. Dinner time.
Like myself. This is a message to my future self. It's a reminder. Piseano. That boy.
On the street, you ring alarms. You don't need me beat them all. I only need you to keep it warm. Just hold it for 1 minute. This is the first and last time I'm a war. With these words, I equal up the hate the born. I'm quick with the pen. This guy is amazing. On the beat for the free, get grabbed. Never be playing. This nigga just snapped. This guy is amazing. On the beat for the free, get grabbed. I'll never be playing. Lately, my son open up. Let's reiterate. Totally damaged. Why? Competition ain't got no nutrition. I just need some stimulation. When I'm from a rap to a rap, first damn nigga, it's not personal. This is damn big. Might even talk to a man. Listen. It's killing me.
That artist that song that just played, you started that song off saying, Piseano, this is a message to your future self. Everything you said after that was negative. Your future self that is sitting here today is very positive. Thinking back to the individual that created that song that we just heard, then fast forward to the individual that created that song that we all loved and heard prior to that song, Argue. The individual that you spoke on, would you consider that as one of the worst choices that your top 5 worst choices you've made in your life?
Nope.
You wouldn't? Elaborate on that.
Well, the biggest first choice that I would say is the worst choice I ever made in my life is to walk away from God. That was the one because they all just domino affected from that point. Um, Learning that, God is in my opinion, is not the person that a lot of people try to portray him to be. They be talking about Jesus in a lot of instances. God don't play no games. God is actual in my vision. He's the number one crash out. You know what I mean? And so when I learned that, God loves me enough to actually show me what he looks like from heaven on earth through working through my life. I need some money. I done found $10 on the ground. Just my people that he puts into my life, it kind of like transformed me to see that the message that I was giving to my future self is here's an example of what not to be.
You know what? I ain't even have to say it. That's what's up. You see that, and when you was making that song, I bet you had no idea what was coming.
Mm-mm.
And to go back and listen to the song, and the song starts with, "This is a message to my future self." That just proves, like you said, that God is number one. Hey, he gonna make sure he set everything up for a reason. So when I say I understand you saying that individual wasn't the biggest mistake you made in your top 5, because without that individual, you wouldn't be who you are today.
I am today. Right. Correct.
Right. So when people think that they have like a certain amount of control over you, or they think they did this, or they think they did that, sometimes it's okay to let them know, like, hey, you literally tried to destroy me, but you created a monster, a positive monster. So, it's important to let people know that it's okay. Fuck you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what's up.
Absolutely.
Right. Fuck you. Thank you. Right. Okay. So, tell us some of the things that you got in the future plan for the new Piseano.
I got a few things in plan. There's actually a couple people down here in Birmingham that I'm really interested in working with. I think some of them are your colleagues.
Okay. Okay. So that's one of the questions. Let's go ahead and go on to that. What are some of the independent artists that you would like working with?
I like to work with Streetway Yo.
Okay.
ABM. I do.
I can make that happen.
Fabo.
Okay.
I gotta get some dance moves before I deal with Fabo though. I gotta get a dance move because he's gonna outshine me if I don't. I don't know, man. I didn't spend a lot of time networking like how I should have when I was here, and I dealt with my people and ABM.
But you know what? That's not a bad thing, because everybody who you network are gonna get to network with are gonna know you, the real you as a person, not that individual that you were at that time. I would say that person that you were visiting with.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing. So now they get to meet the positive guy, and whatever you can create is gonna be all positive. It's gonna be great.
More genuine. Yeah, I agree.
Is it any mainstream artists you would like to work with?
I would say my guy Tech, but I don't know if I'll ever be ready for that one. That's a little bit too much that's a little too much dip on my chip, I think.
Hey, he might be ready though. He might. Hey, what the story that comes with you, he might be able to, dip that chip.
Yeah.
I might be able to crunch out on that thing. So it might be. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, him and believe this or not, I think you mentioned somebody during the break, Devin the Dude.
Yeah,
I like to make a song with him.
Yeah, Devin is nice. I like Devin. Devin will definitely put you in that mode. He'll set the mode for you. Okay. So I noticed on your social media platforms that you wasn't doing, you took a break from music, obviously.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it's the song that you created and gave to us. It's actually a unreleased song. We love exclusives over here. So, we definitely are honored to be your first for that song since you was one of the first ones. So, what do you have that you're gonna follow that up with? Is it a project or?
I think I don't really know about the projects because I've been talking with him upstairs. That's what I call him upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking with him, and he's been kind of like pushing me towards more like supporting other people.
Oh,
So I
okay.
really plan on supporting my brother Big Chef and my sister Niece 720 and a lot of the other artists that may be down here in Birmingham, and teaching them, just supporting them in whatever they need.
And I can see that because past experiences and things that I know personally that you have went through due with our personal relationship, I think that you will be an asset to anyone
Mhm.
because you have been there and you know what not to do to an artist. You
Exactly.
know not to get in a booth and tell an artist, hey, that's not gonna work. Who are you to kill somebody's creative thought
Process and
process?
flow. Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
yeah, so I think that would be good. Now
Hmm.
you an artist now. You got some lyrics. You
Hmm.
there. So I would hate to see you go. How you feel about some ghostwriting? So talk to him
Do you
about that
see?
ghostwriting.
But do you see how him upstairs work? You
Mm-hmm.
didn't already pull that out of my brain because we're on a righteous path. So we already symbiotically like put together.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you answering my questions before I ask them, and I'm answering your questions before you get them out.
Right. Right. Okay. So yeah, we gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah.
We gonna anybody looking for some tight lyrics. We got you some on deck here, and ghostwriters are anonymous, but we need our percentage.
Yes,
That's what's
ma'am.
up. That's what's up. Yeah, hey, it's people literally looking for ghostwriters, but in this city, but people don't know how to be confidential.
Right.
They talk entirely too much, so people don't purchase songs from individuals in this city because they don't want
Mhm.
nobody on social media saying I wrote that.
Not only that, you got to be
Mhm.
impartial to a person's style. You can't
Right.
write it in your style,
Right.
but then give it to, say, a child or
Right. Yeah, right. 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 You are absolutely correct. So yeah, definitely. I would definitely let some, because people do say like I know we're gonna put something together behind the scenes on that about that ghostwriting too.
absolutely.
Okay. A lot of people use social media to strategize um, marketing for their music. You've been on a break and you had a team prior
Mhm.
to when you were releasing music,
Mhm.
and now that you're kind of getting back into it, you kind of undecided. However, please drop that song. And when you drop that song, what would be some of the social media strategies you would use so that everyone can actually get that message?
Well, you got I know there's a radio station around here in Birmingham somewhere, DTR certified.
Mhm.
They can you get with them about what's the proper term to use? Is it a media run?
Mhm.
I think that would be a good idea. I think it's called Pressure 23 Radio.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
are absolutely
them.
right. Uh-huh.
And then I think it's another lady here. I think her name is Tiffany, Miss Tiffany Coleman.
Uh-huh.
Um, she has some media resources, and
Uh-huh.
think
You are
you. I
absolutely
think
correct.
that'll probably be the best way to go about it.
Oh man, boy, you done laid that thing on out there like that. Hey, y'all heard that? He already know he know what it is. But you been here a long time,
Right,
so you was on game when nobody else went on game. So
right.
maybe they should listen to you.
I should have listened to you.
You was on. You've been on it a long time. So your ideal target market for that song. So who would you like that meant that song to reach? What's the target market?
Really, I don't want to say anybody, but I want to say specifically the oppressed people that feel like they're in some type of bondage of any kind to be able to break free, even from self bondage.
Right. Okay, I like that. So, oh man, it just seems like it shouldn't be over this fast, but I mean it's over this fast. And it's actually not over that fast. It just seems like we've been on here for like 30 minutes. It just seems like it be.
Really?
Yes. When you have great conversation, time flies.
Right.
Okay. So this is something that I ask everyone that's on this platform. And I want to give you an opportunity to express your response to this question. If you can give one piece of advice to an inspiring artist today, what would it be?
One piece of advice. I guess I would say understand that there's nothing higher than God. And, if you don't believe in God, understand that there's something that's greater than yourself, and you got to believe in something. Because if you believe in nothing, you'll fall for everything. So that would be the greatest advice I would say. Believe in something that's higher than yourself.
I like that. Gotta believe in something. Okay. So we talked about your goal for the next few years and for the future. You're kind of undecided, but you do have some material that you're going to give us before you decide what you're going to do. So where can everybody go in the future to check out these songs you're going to be dropping? And can you kind of give us a timeline after you give us the social media platforms to when they can expect these projects to be uploaded?
Well, all of the social media handles is going to be IAM Piseano 9. So those will be all of the social media handles. And as far as the time frame, I'd say within the next month to 3 months, there should be something that's going to be concrete about the music side as far as my artistry.
Okay. Thank you. So whatever you do, don't hold that gem to yourself. I would hate to have to be you listen to the radio station one day driving in your car and you say, "Hey, that's me."
Right.
So I don't want to break a rule. I mean, we pay royalties and I know you hadn't released it yet, and I would hate to have to release it for you. That's a great song.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want you to hold it hostage any longer.
I will not.
How long have you been holding that song?
About 2 years. Has it been 2 years? About 2 years.
So it's time.
Yes, ma'am.
To release it. To Out of Bondage. You talked about that a few minutes ago.
I gotta go do my due diligence on all the stuff first. I gotta get, do the proper artist etiquette. Okay. I would say to releasing music the proper way.
Yeah, you have individuals that are in the building with you today. Mm-hmm. You always have me as a resource. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you are a day one. Mm-hmm. You are a day one. But there's a lot of people who out there that decided that they was going to be the day one, and they won. The day one is actually you. Mm. So I appreciate you for being the day one.
Look at God.
So therefore, anything that you need from me, I'm going to be here because that's what we do.
Yes, ma'am.
I ride with who ride with me. That's you was with me when I was on the bottom. So when I'm on my way to the top, we gonna both be there together.
And I didn't even know that. I thought you was already on top. When you hit me up, I thought I made it.
Hey, at the time when we were, I could say this: we were 100% legit at the time, as legit as anybody could be. We had everything in place everywhere. Mm. We were just waiting on Apple to sign off and drop our app. That was it.
When you told me your son liked my song, yeah, I was convinced that was it. I was from the blow right then.
Yeah. My little song. That song was actually really popular with the kids.
Yeah.
And that's who take you off right there. That's who do them kids. Yeah. So yeah, you might need to see if you can rework that thing and drop that Boom 2.0.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Them kids love that song.
Yes, ma'am.
Man, them kids was singing the breaks off that song.
For real?
Yes. Hey, kids like they was hopping and jumping. Yeah, 2.0, you probably need to.
They got to make some noise, and I'm singing the song.
Hey, the kids are singing the song.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about the kids. Was like, I get to make some noise. And Mom, I'm just singing the song.
And it was, I think it was we played it on a birthday party, one of my little nephews' birthday party, and everybody was in that. They caught on to it so quick. We had it on repeat probably about 5 or 6 times too. I was like, that's enough. Yeah, so yeah, drop that 2.0.
I need to do that.
Exactly. But I definitely appreciate you coming in around anniversary time. You are welcome anytime. When you get ready to drop your projects, please be sure to come back.
I will be coming through to you. Before I do anything, I will come see you.
I definitely appreciate you, and thank you for plugging us in with all of these great artists that you plugged us into. I had no idea that level of talent was actually on that terrible ass roster that they had on. So, I definitely appreciate y'all for coming in and dropping some of that flavor on me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Big Chef.
Absolutely.
Need 720. Y'all definitely
Absolutely
come through.
I got some more gems for you too. They hidden. I got some more. I'm gonna bring some more for you.
We'll just run them on over here. We support all independent artists. We big on the independent artists. It was a choice that we made to go 100%. We are 100% independent. We don't play any mainstream. I mean, if you make it mainstream, we're going to cut you off. We do have some artists that who made it that we had to cut off, and we had to tell them like, "Hey, you're no longer independent. You gotta go. We can't let you."
That's bittersweet right there. That's bittersweet.
Hey,
you made it.
You made it. That was the goal.
But now but people know you started at Pressure 23.
Exactly, and that's why the slogan said "Number one and break independent artists." People think like, "Oh, yeah, you heard them here first." That's what we do here. We help break the artists.
That's righteous. Okay. That's righteous.
So again, thank you for coming in. I definitely appreciate it. We definitely seeing you soon.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Yeah.
All right.